What's up, you guys? I'm Birdie and welcome to my channel. Today we are making a lavender honey cake inspired by BTS's single Dynamite. There's a cool surprise at the end, so be sure to watch the full video. Let's get started. First up, we are making the lavender cream that will help flavor the cake. In a small saucepan, bring half a cup whole milk and 1 tablespoon of dried culinary grade lavender to a simmer. Take it off the heat and let it steep for another 10 minutes. Remove the lavender by draining the mixture through a fine colander and set aside to cool to room temperature. There's a lyric in the song that says, "Life is sweet as honey," so I'm going to play off of that and do a honey lavender cake with a honey buttercream. For the cake batter, start by combining 3 1/4 cup flour, 3 cups of granulated sugar, 2½ teaspoons of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt in a stand mixer on a low speed. Once it's mixed thoroughly, start adding in 1 cup of unsalted room temperature butter that has been cut into small pieces. Slowly add in the butter, letting it mix until it becomes a fine crumble. Next, pour in 1 cup of room temperature liquid egg whites and mix until smooth. Add in 1 cup of room temperature buttermilk, followed by the room temperature lavender infused cream. Continue mixing and add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1/4 cup of honey. Scrape down the bowl and mix until thoroughly combined. To add in the lavender color, I used 2 generous drops of violet AmeriColor gel food coloring and mixed until the color was fully integrated. Pour into 4 greased 6-inch pans and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 36 to 38 minutes. Let the cakes cool completely and then level off the tops of each layer. For the frosting, I'm making 1½ batches of honey vanilla buttercream. In a stand mixer, start whipping 3 cups or 6 sticks of unsalted room temperature butter on a high speed. Mix for 7 to 8 minutes or until the butter becomes pale in color and fluffy in texture. Turn the mixer down to the lowest speed and start spooning in 9 cups of sifted powdered sugar. Mix thoroughly and add in 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1/4 cup of honey. After the honey is mixed in completely, check the consistency and add in room temperature heavy cream until you reach your desired texture. I used about 1/4 cup of heavy cream in this recipe. Put about half of the buttercream in a separate mixing bowl and color it light lavender purple, making sure to use the spatula to get some of the air bubbles out. This will help create a smoother finish. Cover and set the rest of the buttercream to the side until we start decorating the cake. To assemble the layered cake, place the first layer on the board and pipe a thick spiral of buttercream onto the cake. Level that out with a large offset spatula and place the next layer. Repeat these steps until you've reached the top. Because there's no filling for this cake, I used the piping method to make sure I had an equal amount of buttercream per layer. As always, before you add the next layer, be sure that the cake is level. With the remaining buttercream, apply a thin crumb coat and smooth it out using a bench scraper. Level off the top with the offset spatula and put it in the fridge to firm up while you make the decorations. The Dynamite music video is set in a burger and donut shop, and donuts are a major theme throughout the video, so I wanted to make mini donuts that would act as a focal point for this cake. To make the dough, start by sifting together 1 cup of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon baking powder, 1/8 teaspoon baking soda, a pinch of salt, and a pinch of nutmeg. Then start creaming together 1/3 cup room temperature unsalted butter and 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. I would recommend using a hand mixer for this because it's a little amount, but if you're using a stand mixer, make sure to scrape down the bowl every 30 seconds or so to help the mixture combine properly. Next, add in 1 large egg and half a teaspoon vanilla extract. Mix until combined. It's okay if the mixture looks curdled at this point, it will all smooth out in the end. Next, alternate adding in the dry ingredients and 1/4 cup buttermilk, scraping down the bowl after each round. Continue mixing until fully combined. Place the dough into a piping bag and start piping into a greased mini donut pan, filling them up about 3/4 of the way full. If you don't have a pan like this, you can achieve a similar shape using aluminum foil and a muffin tin. Fill all the donuts and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 to 10 minutes. Once done, put on a drying rack to cool down. To glaze the donuts, I just melted down some candy melts in the colors of the Dynamite logo and dipped the donuts face down into the glaze. I finished off the donuts with a variety of rainbow sprinkles and set them aside to dry. For the base of the cake, I wanted to emulate the mural backdrop in the basketball court scene from the music video, so I portioned out the remaining buttercream and colored them to match the main colors of the wall. I then used a medium round tip to pipe abstract shapes onto the side of the cake and filled in the border. Using a small offset spatula, smooth over the shape, making sure to fill any gaps. I started with yellow because it was the most dominant color on the mural, and then I worked my way backwards. I didn't really plan out the shapes beforehand, but I just made sure that the colors were evenly distributed and that all the purple buttercream was covered. Continue until you've made it all the way around the cake and have used every color. Let the cake sit at room temperature for about an hour until the buttercream has crystallized on the outside. This is a very crucial step for the smoothing process that we're about to do. Once the buttercream is ready, take a paper towel and gently start smoothing out the buttercream with a fondant smoother. I prefer the Viva brand paper towels because they don't have a pattern on them. If any of the buttercream comes off on the paper towel, it's not ready to be smoothed and needs to be set out longer. Continue smoothing around the cake. This technique not only brings the colors together, but it gives it a concrete-like texture. Pop it back in the fridge to firm up. To finish the top of the cake, I'm making a white chocolate ganache drip that's similar to the ice cream drip in the music video. Start by heating up 1/3 cup heavy cream in the microwave for 45 seconds. Add in 1 cup of white chocolate chips and stir until smooth. Add in a small amount of pink food coloring and mix until fully incorporated. Pour the ganache into a squeeze bottle and let it reach slightly warmer than room temperature. If you don't let it thicken up, it will just drip down the side of the cake and puddle at the bottom, which is what you don't want. Once it's ready to go, start dripping the ganache down the side of the cake, leaving about an inch in between each drip. After the drips are done, use the rest of the ganache to fill in the middle of the cake. The ganache will level itself, so you don't have to worry about smoothing it out. To finish decorating the cake, I went ahead and piped a border around the bottom edge with some of the leftover icing and then started to place the donuts around the top. I secured the donuts in place by pushing a toothpick about 3/4 of the way into the cake, leaving enough to stick through the donuts without showing. I sort of stuck the donuts off center so that the toothpick wouldn't show through the middle. Repeat this for the rest of the donuts, making sure to space them out evenly. Now for the grand finale. You can't make a Dynamite cake without pyrotechnics. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. So I found these mini sparklers at Walmart and put 7 of them in the middle of the cake for all 7 members of BTS. And then I lit her up. I did underestimate how fast these burned compared to how fast it took to light them, so it did burn a little bit lopsided, but that's okay because I think the effect is still there. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this cake inspired by BTS's single Dynamite. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to make this cake for yourself, the full recipes are in the description box below. If you like this video, please support the artist that was featured and like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what song you would like to see next in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!